All over the world, the fight goes on against man's age-old enemies: cold, hunger, thirst, heat, exposure. Men like explorer Sir Vivian Fuchs know the odds. So do his research teams out in the Antarctic with the Falkland Islands Dependency Survey. Yet we're still finding out just how much cold man can stand. And what it takes to turn the jungle from enemy to ally. And how to get the better of the parched deserts. Survival is the business of the backroom boys, the boffins who keep men on the treadmill in the unending quest for knowledge. Here in Britain's Medical Research Council laboratories, they can pack men off to the tropics at the touch of a switch. They roast men, they freeze men to find the answers to survival. They've worked out a quicker way than any sergeant major ever knew of turning young soldiers into old sweats. They've got this human guinea pig as hot as they want him now. Any hotter and he'd collapse. Now they check him for loss of weight. The special suits are designed to prevent sweat from vanishing into thin air, for the boffins want to measure the cooling process exactly. And those deck chairs aren't just to make army life cushy. It would ruin the experiment if the soldiers moved about. The boffins must keep absolute control of each man's temperature with cool air blown through those tubes. In hot climates, a survivor's body heat can mean the difference between a sticky end and getting away with it. His chances have a lot to do with how much he sweats. After 2 hours inside, this volunteer has lost 3 pounds. In the desert, he could lose up to 2 stones a day. Here, at the Institute of Aviation Medicine, is survival expert Wing Commander Peter Whittingham with a solar still, which produces fresh water from the sea. Another lifesaver. This nylon suit, which in great heat can keep a man cool. Protection is the first survival priority. And for protection again, a knife is included in aircrew survival packs. Over the nylon suit, believe it or not, goes full equipment. Once he's seen to his protection, a survivor's got to let the world know the mess he's in. So how's this for a neat line in broadcasting stations? The very latest come and get me gadget is this fountain pen flare that sends a signal lasting 5 or 6 seconds, long enough for a rescue plane to spot it. But you need more than new inventions to survive. You need water and food. It's important to be able to fend for yourself away from mum's cooking. So when these airmen get a back to nature call in the Scottish Highlands, they make hunting spears, fishing nets and traps. And a tent can be made from a parachute. For hungry men in the wilds of nowhere, a square meal's a square meal, however you look at it. Wherever there's something going on in the survival business, you'll find the Navy. Any new idea for keeping shipwrecked sailors afloat is welcome. And here's one, a new life raft. And the Navy has come 200 miles out into the Atlantic to test it. The boffins wanted it rough, and they got what they wanted. In go the bell-bottom guinea pigs, volunteers to a man. With them are the boffins and medical experts too. No glory here, only, as the skipper told them, the satisfaction of knowing their work is for the good of all who go to sea. They're all set to face 5 days adrift, 5 days on a bare minimum of food and water, when the way they react to short rations, boredom, tiredness, and the cold will be studied. It's all part of the search for the facts of the hard life, the facts of survival, and these men are ready to face anything. But what's this? The captain spots a signal. Raft no longer seaworthy. The raft must be brought back, just an hour after it set out in a sea so rough that even some of these experienced sailors were seasick. The doctors have learned some lessons, but the real winner on a technical knockout is the Atlantic. All the volunteers, including Jock Wishart, who's just 17, and his shipmate with the built-in protection against the cold, are ready to try again. More tests, this time with RAF men, are going on off Plymouth. Airmen need to know what they might be up against in an emergency. But don't let anyone tell this squad the sky's the limit. In the priorities of survival, thirst comes third. It can kill a man in as little as 18 hours. Water, water everywhere, but the solar still makes salt water drinkable. This life-saving brainwave, like most bright ideas, is simple. Just fill it up with salt water, and what do you know? You've got your own water tap. It's all done by the sun's rays, and even on a dull day, they'll do the trick. Food is highly concentrated. You get a lot of nourishment in a small pack. In the lonely, dangerous world of the survivor, the will to live matters most of all, once he's got the equipment and knows how to use it. While others seek him out, he knows the odds in his favor were never better than today. He knows that vast resources of science and human skill will be at his disposal. For this airman, as for many others, there's no sight in the world so welcome as that of the helicopter hovering to another victory over the forces of nature. Soon, thanks to the boffins and the guinea pigs and the rescue teams, he'll be high and dry and safe.